Does anyone actually need tips on how to procrastinate? Hello lovely friends, thank you so much for joining me today. This video is a bit of a weird one because it's responding to some feedback I got from a reel that I posted on my Instagram. So I'm just going to show you the reel, not with the cool music that I played, obviously because of the YouTube copyright, but here it is. And the reason I'm coming to you from my collective haunt studio is because I'm talking about this particular tapestry. So no, I'm not technically telling you how to procrastinate, but what I am going to talk about today is the issues that I sometimes do face when I'm starting a complicated artwork. And even though I haven't completely come through it, I thought I'd have a chat to you about it today, and then we can discuss it in the comments and see if you have any ideas of how you overcome this stage in an artwork. And if you haven't met already, my name's Michelle and I post videos about my creative processes as well as creative motivation, as well as ones like today where we're just kind of having a chat about art-related things that are on my mind at the moment. So if that sounds good to you, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. The tapestry I'm doing at the moment is of the Murray Bridge Bunyip. If you want the whole story about what the hell that is, you can check out one of my other studio vlogs. But my problem when I'm doing really large, complicated tapestries is that there is a point, and usually it's about this much of a tapestry, where I've got absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And what I do then is I procrastinate moving forward with the tapestry because I'm not feeling confident. I don't know technically how to make what's in my head onto the loom. And so I procrastinate. Yeah, basically that is exactly what I do. I find other things to do. In my home studio, I suddenly have to do some cleaning or washing or all the things that you do to procrastinate when you are stuck. Now in this instance, I went to the extreme. I actually brought this tapestry loom into my collective haunt studio, so I couldn't do any procrastination here. The thing is with being in an external studio is it is dedicated time that you spend on doing your artwork. So even though, yes, I made that reel here, and yes, I can procrastinate, I can make coffee, I can do all those things, but it's still quite limited with how much I can procrastinate when I'm in here. So if I'm feeling super frustrated, I just have to go home. Usually I'm here for a good number of hours. For example, as I'm filming this today, I am gallery sitting. So I can't leave. I have to be here from 11 o'clock till 4 o'clock. That's 5 hours where I will be at this loom. So what can I do? So when I say this is a complicated tapestry, if you look at it, you may not think it is if you are a very advanced tapestry weaver. For me personally, yes, I've been doing tapestry for about 10 years, but I'm not going to tell you that I know everything about tapestry. And also, I can't necessarily get what's in here onto the loom. Sometimes I have this grand vision of what I want to achieve, and then I think, I've got no idea how I'm actually going to weave that. For example, with this tapestry, the bunyip is in the water, and so I got too hung up in my head with trying to weave water, with trying to make it look realistic. And what I ended up doing was simplifying my design so much that I was just giving the hint of water rather than getting so caught up in my own head that I had to make it look super realistic. So this is where I'm at with the tapestry right now. And because I've only done a small part of it, I don't know how much you can pick up. But basically, you can see the bunyip's jawline there and the teeth. But this is where I was trying to do water and things like that. And this is not the exact bunyip I'm going with, but you can see the water in the bottom. It's still a really weird kind of thing to weave. And then when I did the second bunyip, because I'm doing 4 of them, I decided to go really minimal with the water and just to do basically some lines to suggest water rather than to weave it literally. And I think that is working much better. I hope it works as a whole because I prefer this one to this one, but I'm not going to be unpulling all of that because I kind of like the rest of it. I mean, if you look at any of my work, it's not super realism. It's not, you know, it doesn't have to have every single detail. I use a lot of artistic license. I tend to just make things up as I go along. My style isn't hyper-realism. So it doesn't really matter if it looks exactly like the real thing. And I have to keep that in my head that it's my artistic interpretation. I don't have to get so caught up in what I think I need to create. And I'm sure all artists find this. It doesn't really matter what medium that you're working in. There's going to be parts of the creative process that are more complicated than others. There are going to be parts that you don't know how to do something. So what I'm saying is this video is not the answer to all of your questions or my questions. This video is just a bit of a discussion. So what I'm looking for is when you're at a difficult point, please let me know what you do to try and get over the hump, so to speak. I'll tell you a little bit about my lobster tapestry, which you can see a tiny bit of behind me. I went through the same thing with this one, and I'm not sure whether it was because it's the largest tapestry I had done to date, but the same thing happened. I started off the very bottom of that tapestry and it just looked like a mess. It didn't look like anything at all. And I wasn't convinced that I could actually do this tapestry. I wasn't convinced that the tapestry would look like what it was meant to look like. Regardless of artistic license, you still want the viewer to understand what you're going for. So I wasn't really sure that was happening. And then once the legs started appearing, once it started looking a little bit like what it's meant to look like, then I could kind of see where my vision was going. And then that gave me more confidence to keep on going. With this one here, I think the same thing's going to happen. I think it's just more my confidence in my own abilities, my confidence in the concept, because you get to that point as well and you're thinking, am I doing the wrong thing altogether? Should I just cut it off the loom and start something completely different? But I kept saying to myself, no, this has happened with other tapestries before and I have pushed forward and it's come out with a brilliant piece of work. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I think I'm getting out of that hump, but I'm not quite out of there just yet. I'm hoping that today's weaving session will actually address that, and I'm crossing fingers that by the end of the day today, I will have a clearer vision of where I want to go. So I will film some of that process and let you know. But in the meantime, I would just love if we could have a discussion in the comments on whether you find this. I mean, is it just me? I've talked to other artists in here and a lot of other people do have this issue with painting, with ceramics, with drawing as well. It's not just a tapestry thing. I know tapestry is a super complicated technique to learn and to master, and it takes many, many, many years to do that. But if you're an artist watching this in whatever medium that you work in, I'd love to know what your take is. Do you have this issue? And when you do, how do you get over it? Or do you just paint over it and start again if you're a painter? That's something else that I've heard. If it's too hard, you just paint over it and start again. With tapestry, you can't really do that. You have to either unpull it all or cut it off the loom. And both those things I don't want to do because I still believe in my design. I still believe in what I think the artwork can look like. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a weird video. It's not a how-to. It's not me giving you any type of advice or creative inspiration, so sorry about that. But it's just a discussion that I thought would be helpful to have, and I haven't really been able to find anyone else on YouTube that's sort of discussed this in a way that helped me solidify what I'm trying to do here. Does that make sense? Well, thanks for hanging out with me if you got to the end, and until the next video, which will be a straightforward studio vlog, bye! To give you an update, like I was hoping, my day of weaving this bunyip kind of shifted something for me. And then the next week when I came into my studio, I was really focused and I felt that I could just get on with what I was doing and that it was working out perfectly. So I can't tell you what it was that made the shift, but I think after all of this video, I think the key is perseverance. Tell me what you think.